So this is our 1990 300ZX twin turbo. One owner before us, right up until about a month and a half ago. This was bought brand new in Vancouver, British Columbia at New West Minster. Nissan no longer exists. Original bill of sale $50,500 approximately. There was a trade-in, I think, of an 87 300ZX turbo. If I do remember correctly, we'll have a look at that bill of sale, but I'm going to walk you around the car and show you just exactly how near perfect this car is. We took the car to Nissan and had them go through it with a full inspection, and at the same time we instructed them to change every fluid, so transmission, differential, coolant, brake flush, clutch flush, engine oil, everything, and asked them if they had any other suggestions. They said nothing other than tires, which we replaced. It has a OEM size set of brand new Pirelli tires, Pirelli P0s. And then we just did a normal detail. Really, the interior didn't need a shampoo or anything. Basically just had a wipe down. And here we go. We'll walk you around. So starting at the front. There we go. I guess it's so glossy the camera couldn't focus. So the only real demerits... Oh, that is just not focusing. The only real demerit, I would say, it just has the odd touched up chip on the front, most of which is actually on this nose piece and not the actual bumper itself. So there's one that we did there. I believe there's one there. And a couple just small guys. It does have very light pitting on the windshield. It is the factory original windshield. You don't really notice them when driving. But they are there. There's still a little bit of dust and residue from my cloth after wiping it down. But the car is pretty incredible. My previous video, I walked around the belt line and showed headlights, wheels, etc. Gloss is extremely high. Down the side of the car, fenders, A-pillars, trunk lid, all of that I would say is 99.9% free of chips or blemishes. This is a car that you could take to a Cars and Coffee and people would look at it and basically think the car is brand new. I don't think I've seen on Bring a Trailer anywhere else one in this good a condition. Nothing to show across the bumper. We'll get into the trunk in a second. Probably worth mentioning, the stickers are in extremely good condition, not peeling anywhere, no discoloration. Same with the acrylics in the taillights, on the badged rear, no key scratches around the keyhole. And of course there's nothing to point out in the interior. There's passenger seat, looks basically brand new. The smell of the interior, the smell of these cars is as new. I've got the books and such out of the glove box, but I do have a couple cassettes to try out the tape player. We'll go with Bryan Adams. Dash, everything is perfect. Seatbelt recoil is perfect. Dome lights, all of that. The electronics, as I said, we spent about $2,500 doing the audio system. Door panels, nothing to point out there. Backs of the seats. Rear package tray. Oh, the smell of these things are so good. Sorry, the light's coming in. More importantly, the driver's seat. Almost as fresh, I'd say as fresh as that passenger seat. The seats work exactly the way they're supposed to. Built in February of 1990. Serial number ending in 415. Sorry about that. Just rebooting our gimbal here. Okay, back to it. This is the fourth key. AC is cold, the automatic climate control works. Moving down to the stereo. Antenna is going out. This is a local radio station.
But they can't give if they are sick or forced to stay home. The need for new donors is higher than ever. If you've never donated before,
being that we're inside the building, it's not pulling in other radio stations. Tape. Being that the tape head hasn't been used in a long time, it takes a song or two for it to warm up. You can hear a little bit of popping and crackling. The suspension works exactly the way it's supposed to. Mirrors all work, defrost works. Everything works, of course. Goes without saying, I think, on this car. Car was cold, if you notice. Hasn't even come up to temperature yet. But the hood still has the plastic protection piece on the release. Pop in the trunk. As I was saying earlier, there's still quite a bit of seal opening the rear hatch. There you have the two sunscreens and then the bags for the T-tops as well. Everything is complete underneath there. It's kind of a hassle to get in there, so you can see those in the still photos in our photo gallery. Probably important to mention or note, no scratching or chafing on these plastic panels on the back of the car, on the back of the trunk lid. Focus, there we go. This guy still recoils nicely. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here. Get that guy in. There we go. And let's move to under the hood. See if I can do this one-handed. We didn't do any dry icing under the hood, so this is all, other than being washed, all this yellowing is all factory cosmoline and rust protectant that you see, and catting. Of course, that's the factory heat pad, your EPA sticker, some air conditioning info, ignition system. All those decals are very, very clean, in good shape, not peeling. Still seem to have a lot of adhesive on them. Factory VIN tag. And again, you can see where all the cosmoline and the rust protectant starts under the hood. That's why you don't see shiny strut towers. And you can see it still kind of on the edges of the fenders as well here. That's all factory original stuff. Okay, well, I'll leave it there. This is obviously a pretty long video already. I put about 150 kilometers or so on it so far. And it drives just like a new car. Here, just tagging this video on the end of the other video. Here is some of the extra documentation that came with it. So this is all sales brochure stuff, but pretty cool. As I would imagine, trying to find any of this stuff would be extremely difficult. So these pages came inside this brochure. Interesting that it has this paint sample chit, obviously during the sales process, since it was a pretty special time for him. All links up. And then this book inside of this folder. Also, I've never seen one of these before. And this is just kind of a really neat presentation book. It goes through all the, has these see-through pages. Very, very interesting. Okay, so we're just walking over to the 300. There she is. So starting from the front, that is the chafing I was talking about. But underside, very light scrape there. You see the odd scrape. And then moving under, pretty tidy. Probably should have got a flashlight, but doesn't get much cleaner than this. Pretty spectacular. That's just from the oil change you just had. All the fittings, you can see this is the factory undercoat here. I think started spraying it away here and just left it. Better to leave it anyway. But everything is tidy, tidy, tidy. All the factory paint markings, all the catting, everything is very clean. Labels are still on everything. The exhaust Super tidy. Don't see anything from bottoming out the car on the underside. Move into the back here. Rubber's still nice and rubbery and pliable. Just spectacular in my mind. Still that original factory exhaust. Really incredible. I love it. Maybe I potentially regret not buying this for myself, but we'll see. Okay. Okay, I just want to walk around with it at this height. This is pretty extreme light, so anything comes up. I just dusted it off. You can see a couple little hairs from the spray and shine. But all in all, I have paint metered the car. It is all factory paint. So there's one little chip that got touched up. And maybe tiny, like this is, you know, this is microscope kind of stuff. The leading edge and the corner on these fenders. There's a little touch up there. A little guy there. You don't really see it when you step back. All the acrylics. That's maybe a rock chip or a manufacturing nipple. But anyway, through here, pretty spectacular. You can see even the screw heads, not corroded. That wouldn't have been something our detail shop would have got at anyway. That looks like it's a bug that they didn't get clean because it's underneath the lip. You can see this is all factory. No pitting, no chipping, nothing. Nice clean paint line there from the factory. Nothing across here at all. The gray tape, factory. All in really good shape. I remember mine was kind of coming away a little bit. Headlights, pretty spectacular. So going around the side, we'll get into the hood once I get it down. I think we have a touch up there. Tiny hairline there. We did not refinish the wheels. I think this is the kind of the stuff you probably get off on. You can see the fender. Small lost it. There's a, oh, right there, looks like there's a tiny, tiny ding. No paint chip, no nothing. But you get the picture. I mean, my reflection is pretty clear. Very high gloss to the paint. Even getting in and around door handle. I don't really... Mirror cap. Say perfect. I think the price is going up as I do this. Little hairline there. I wonder if that could probably be wet sanded out. The shop we took it to, they don't wet sand unless we ask them to. We'll, not gonna see much there on this camera. We have a better camera, but low light is better for the iPhone. I got nothing to point out back here. Exquisite. All the factory glass, of course. Swing over to the other side. You're gonna see the same condition in calipers, wheels. A bit more light on this side. And mirror cap. Perfect. No chips that I can see anywhere down the side. Again, this is always kind of chipped away and pretty cruddy on these cars as they get some mileage. And Nissan glass. Not even a lip on the rotor. Factory original rotor. Yeah, there you go. There's a little chipping, or not chipping, peeling away of the tape. Antenna works, of course. The seal is so good on the rear hatch, it even sticks a little bit when you're trying to pull up on it. Let's see if I can get it down. Rear bumper, I didn't wipe this down, so there's dust on it. You can see how much dust there is. The tail lamps are perfect. Anyway, I think that's probably long enough for this one. I'll get the car down, we'll keep going.